What's happening, YouTube family? We are back with another video, and of course, we're going to be talking about that good old Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War because we have two insanely beautiful episodes that we just have to discuss. Two insanely amazing fights that we just have to go into depth about. Man, every time I watch these, because of course I rewatch these and rewatch them just to see if there's anything I missed. But every time I rewatch them, I'm just so happy with the results of everything that took place and all that. But before we go ahead and get into that, let's go ahead and make sure that we hitting that subscribe button, hitting that notification bell that you get the content as soon as I drop it. And of course, make sure to share, comment, keep the conversation going, keep the community growing. We got a lot going on. We're trying to hit that 1,000. But yo, let's go ahead and get into the fact that we left off last episode. The last episode that we were talking about, we left off with Yuha Bop and holding punking Kenpachi Zaraki, which I was so upset about. I was like, you took him on too early in the fight, brother. If you would have took him on like way down the line, they may have actually let you get a couple hits on him. There could have been a little bit more story for you there, but you took him on too early, and plot armor that they got you, bro. But you did come through looking mighty crazy with, the 3 Stern Ritter that you took out oh so easily, as Kenpachi Zaraki would, of course. But again, with the entrance of Captain Commander Genri Usai Shikakuni Yamamoto, oh my goodness. Not only did you pull a version 2 of how you saved your boy Sasakibe, you did it again with Kenpachi, and I was like, before anybody can even see what happens, before anybody even knows what's going on, you snatch them. So, in fact, you was a little bit faster with this one, which is kind of interesting, but we won't go into that. I don't think there was any relevance to that, so we ain't going to try and speculate or anything like that, especially since Sasakibe was your homeboy, and you got a lot of respect for Kenpachi, but I don't think there was any kind of relevance between how fast you were with Kenpachi versus Sasakibe. Anyway, if y'all want to discuss that down in the comment section below, y'all go right ahead, go wild, go crazy. But I'm not gonna touch on that. I don't personally think there was any relevance in the speed of which that happened. But, bro, the ensuing fight. First off, this man is kind of like toying with Yuhaba. And I love the phrase, the way they decided to pronounce his name, Yuha Baha. I was like, okay, that seems like a safe way to go about pronouncing his name. So I was like, okay, and it's actually kind of fun to say Yuha Baha. But yeah, he was toying around with him and all that kind of stuff, trying to make him actually really fight and that kind of thing. And then he finally gets him to pull out his sword. And he was like, so you finally pulled out your sword. And he was like, well, it seems like you were trying to make me pull out my sword. He was like, so I can crush you, mind, body, soul, and sword. I'm like, hey, you may have Captain Mad. That man was going crazy, and he wasn't ready. He wasn't trying to lose this battle. So, you pissed off the wrong person. But we're not even going to worry about that. because the next part is the most important part. Because we're all, there's a lot of dudes out there that'll get this reference, and they'll be like, "Yo, just let me get the tip in, bro. You don't wanna, and not to tip this one. The tip of this will decimate you, but, bro, when I say Yamamoto put a whole new meaning to just the tip, mm mm mm. He put a whole new meaning to just the tip, bro. So, this man was like, bro, if you let me catch you off guard, because it's not only that, but the way he in like the flames was all over the place, and the way his flames just got sucked up. It was like, hey, yo. Everybody is like gasping for air. uh, Toshiro talking about, I ain't gonna be able to use my Bankai. I might as well just not even worry about that. He just happened to be fighting against another ice wielder, which was good for him because that put them both at a disadvantage. Everybody getting a little bit more hype because Yamamoto finally joined the fight and all that. But, bruh, when he sucks in his flames, and then he gives one of the most epic reveals, one of the first major Bankai reveals of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. Bankai Zanka no Tachi. Bruh. Again, the way he pulls in his flames. And it just makes, first off, it just makes his Zanpakuto look like an old crusty looking sword. And Hashpath even said something about it, but he's like, nope, no, you better not do that. Let's not do that, because the first time you underestimate that, that's gonna be the last time. So yeah, bro, when he actually strikes and the tip of his sword smacks the ground and then it just blows up. Oh my god. Any other normal person would at least crap themselves. Use the bathroom, all your bowels just, that's it. I would even go as far as to say that a normal person would just die on the spot. That's all you needed. I didn't even need to see anything else. That's what getting hit by your sword does to me. I'm good. I'll let you win this one, brother. I'm good. I'm gonna holler at you next time. I gotta figure out how to get past that first. But anyway, man. So he's able to, play around with him a little bit more. Plays with his feelings a little bit because he's like, he cuts his sword in half, or not even really in half at this point, but he's like, what you gonna do now? It's like, what you gonna do now? Even though I'm being a little spiteful by asking you that, you sitting here with half of a sword, and what are you gonna do? So that's when he starts going into the next levels of Bankai. Zanka no Tachi West. And I'm not even about to begin. Me personally, I am a big fan of the Japanese culture and a lot of the Japanese words, but these Yamamoto's Bankais, the different directions, particularly west and north, bro, I'm not touching those names. If I was fluent in Japanese, then yeah, oh, all day long, no problem with that. But at my current level of Japanese, no way in the world am I going to actually even take my time to pronounce those, because them joints was like the whole entire bottom of the screen. I'm like, mm-mm. But bruh, no, West allowed him to. No, was it East? Yeah, West. He releases the flames back out. So on West, this man lets the flames back out, and the craziest part about it is his sword and his body get engulfed in hellfire that ignites at 15 million degrees. And 15 million degrees, first off, that's nothing to scoff at. That's just insane. First off, I think they did the math, but I didn't really listen to that. I was just so stuck on the fact that they said 15 million degrees, because the part that anyone living in America would be freaking out about, because we go by Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit is nowhere near the same as Celsius, which is what of course the unit of measure that they used. He used 15 million degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, Celsius. Like, y'all can go ahead and do that calculation yourself. I'm just here to review and talk from my perspective of how I feel about this amazing this amazing episode of Bleach, of my beloved Bleach, that is finally back in the building. 15 million degrees Fahrenheit would be one thing, and again, still, like, we're talking about the intensity of a sun, more than likely, maybe even worse. But this man said 15 million degrees Celsius. No. So it goes without saying that if you're really trying to fight this man, Genryusai Shigekuni Yamamoto, you really gonna have to come with something that's going to allow you to withstand this heat. This level of heat, it he even might make the devil sweat with that kind of heat. Nah, I'm picking. Let me stop. But even so, bro, come on. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm too stuck on that. Let's go ahead and talk about the fact that, he just slicing up everything, going crazy. He really didn't stay in um, his directional west very long, because then he decided to play a little dirty and go Bankai directional south. And that's when he brings back the corpses of people he has killed with his own blade. Like, bruh, think about the fact that not only are you savage enough to burn somebody to death, you have the ability to bring their corpse back and have them fight on your side at that point. Man, come on, that's terrible. That's savage. But it's insane. Again, another one he doesn't really stay in too long, but we get the major gist of it because of the fact that this man is, again, still not playing nice. This man is, like, right now, Yuhabaha is sitting here just so frustrated because he's having to fight against his old subordinates from over a thousand years ago. And who would be able to logically think through that, feel through that, and just keep on pressing forward no matter what and all that good stuff? Like that's insane. It's crazy. It's ludicrous. So even so, Yuha Baha was able to go ahead and get through this. He muscled through, kept his psyche where it needed to be, so he could go ahead, bust through. But it didn't really work so very well because they made a whole human shield between him and Shigekuni. So there was that. Um, then we have the whole idea of North, which was like just a simple slash. I felt like I don't know how I feel about North because it was simply really just a slash. It wasn't really anything too crazy in regards to that. He just he brought his flames back in. He lit his sword, and then he strikes. But this time, when he actually slashes at you, it's like you burn. You burned up. That's it. Boom. It's a wrap. No more. Um, but I mean, it gets the job done, of course, because we'll see Yuha Baha just folded on the floor with like the same little chunk of his body missing that Basby took of Lieutenant Kira, which I'm a little upset about that, as you can see. Still talking about that episodes later, but still, man. But then we come to find out that this wasn't even Yuha Baha to begin with. This was actually just an imposter. This was the R of Roy Lloyd, the yourself, who had been posing at. Now, granted, he did get some praise for the real and true Yuha Baha, but the way he did him, like, well, I mean, he did kind of put him out of his misery, because, I mean, who in their right mind would want to be living like that? So he was just like, that's it. Holla at your boy. Put you out of your misery. Don't worry about it. We got you. Appreciate you. Appreciate your service. But then, of course, we find out also that he had an ulterior motive. While Roy Lloyd was taking his spot in the main fight, he was over there trying to tie to Sasuke Aizen. Man, am I happy to see him back in the manga and anime pages and episodes on the screen. It's so lovely to be able to see this man back in action. Granted, he ain't really do too much action, but he did enough in this episode to make a difference, because I mean the homie came through in the clutch for the Soul Society. Let's be real. And of course we'll touch more on that later. But with Yuha Baha going down there to see him, asking him for his help and saying, hey, you know what, why don't you come work for me? We'll slay the Soul Society and we'll go ahead and achieve our goals, or rather my goal, and all that good stuff. Of course, Aizen ain't for that. And Yuha Baha should have known that. I don't even know why he wasted his time. He should have known better. Not only that, but he actually also gave up the idea that he thought of Aizen as too much trouble to get rid of, rather than, and he would rather help him on the side. So that was, you gave Aizen enough ammunition to be a little petty. That was your fault. But, so he goes back. So the real Yuha Baha gets back into the action and is like, you know what? You thought you was actually doing something Yamamoto because he didn't take your bankai. Well, no, it wasn't that we couldn't understand it. It wasn't that we couldn't take it. It was just that I was the only one that had the ability to do it. I'm the only one that was strong enough. So what now? And so when and he of course says this as he's taking Yamamoto's bankai because he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go crazy again." So we was about to get part two, but that didn't quite happen. So yeah, essentially that's pretty much it because after that, and this man Yamamoto, man, that's a real dude. But I'm gonna tell you what, because when he first takes that blow, which first off, why did you just randomly take the blow? Why did you just take the blow? I'll never understand that. I mean, you didn't try to block, you didn't try to dodge. You were just like, this man, this man got me. It's it. It's a wrap. But it is what it is. This man took the chop, and his body kind of slid in half, or third, fourth. Either way, this man, he tries to continue. He tries, but it's not enough. This man has been simply easily. And then, not only that, but Yuha Baha goes and does the same thing he did to Roy Lloyd and just eradicates his body too. It's like, whatever. So essentially, that's where we kind of leave off. Everybody's getting bodied and whatnot. And kind of go ahead and sliding into the next episode because this is when we get back to my homie Ichigo, who is still trapped in Kyogre Opie's jail that he's been in for like the past 2 episodes. Yeah. But I almost feel like not mentioning them uh, because it was so very quick that it even happened. But but everybody and their brother was happy it happened. But it was still way too quick. We got a chance before we go on with Ichigo part. We get a chance to see the original 13 captains of the Gote 13 and how insanely murderous, bloodlusting intent that every single last one of them had. I mean, we had these jokers grabbing people by the faces and smashing their freaking skulls together. We had Unohana at her craziest, just slashing people, and them. Not only that, but they were just crazy. They were just slashing all kinds of stuff. There was no relent. They were insanely relentless in regards to the way they fought. It was insane, and there's really no way of telling which captain was the head of which division, because I mean there was a couple of them that looked like they could have been like a Mayuri for the 13th division, scientists and that kind of thing. But then there was that old man who, like, what else would he really do? Um, there was so much that we got teased about in regards to that, like, 2 minute, 2 maybe 3 minute teaser of the original 13 Court Guard squad captains. So yeah, that's essentially it. There's really not too much to really go based off of. They had amazing character designs. The art and animation was still absolutely amazing as the rest of the series has been thus far. It's just I hope I hope that they can find a way to bring them back in later on in the conversation. Maybe not with the Thousand Year Blood War because they kind of missed their opportunity to really expand. But there is a lot more lore of Bleach that we can explore, we can go over, we can do all kinds of stuff with that should be rather interesting. And I really hope that really and truly this won't be the final arc. Really and hope and pray that one, the light novels. Two, that they go into the also going to expand on this one shot that they did way back a year and a half ago, August 2021, I think it was, somewhere in that time frame. That because that would be absolutely amazing. But not to get too far off topic, we still ain't even finished the review itself. Because I wanna. Oh my god, this rather brief but so powerful moment of clarity well, not really clarity, but this moment that Ichigo just loses it after when he is finally able to break free of his Quincy prison. He gets into the Soul Society, just quiet, not a word said. He investigates, looks around, does his amazing acrobatics to just glide across. He just glides like butter in through the air above the Serite, observing everything. Ruki and Renji, okay. There's a lot of carnage over there, a lot of stuff going on over here. Oh, there's Byakuya. I might want to go holler at him for a second. Oh my god. As he does, as he flash steps, he catches so many people's attentions that everybody's like, yo, what was that? They even have one person that's like, yo, what the was that? No, whoa. Like, scared. Got everybody on the battlefield shook because nobody knows what that was except for the main two. That's, of course, Hashwald and Yuhaba. No one else knows at all what that was. But this man, Ichigo, of course, jumps to Byakuya. Byakuya's like, gives this little heartfelt spiel. It wasn't ending with a request talking about, I failed as a court guard squad captain. I led so many people into death. I'm ashamed of myself. And I shouldn't ask you. I shouldn't have the balls to ask you. But at this point, I feel like I'm about to die. And to me, this is kind of like he should have realized this a long time ago. But I really believe if he didn't already know now, this was Byakuya admitting that Ichigo is stronger. I don't know if it was just in that moment and he realized that, that rage that Ichigo was putting out was like, or what. But when he asked if Ichigo, this version of Ichigo, when Byakuya asked him to protect the Soul Society, that's the moment when Ichigo has completely, absolutely, totally lost it and is ready to just destroy anything and everything that gets in his path. This man did not say a word to Byakuya. All he did was And that was it. This man went and as Hashwald and Yuha Baha were about to go back into the portal to dip, because at first they didn't want that smoke with Ichigo, but you know what? They was like, after this man done crashed down and made a tremendous scene. We ain't really gonna have much of a we ain't really gonna have much of a choice in the matter. This man has not left us a choice. We're gonna have this confrontation. So of course, Ichigo's like, "Yo, are you the leader? Are you the one who caused so much drama here in the Soul Society?" And of course, Yuha kind of plays around with him a little bit because of the obvious truth that if anyone who's a true Bleach fan has it kind of put together, what I'm hinting around that I'm not going to really throw out there yet, because as of this episode that I'm speaking of has taken place, Ichigo is still like cloudy on, foggy on that particular instance of what he's thinking in his mind. But eventually he's like, "Yeah, I'm the one who destroyed the Soul Society like this," and bruh, the one Ichigo goes further off. Like you, you almost didn't even know it was possible, but with with the way his Ryatsu just blows up and goes insane and goes crazy, and the art and animation again coming through so beautifully to illustrate just how mad this man is. And they did that demon thing where like they have half his face dark, half his face light, and then they do like a flash of lightning where his eyes gleam red, like his pupils or irises, I can't remember which one, but they just gleam red. And I'm not a big fan of this term, but that man was truly on demon time when that happened. I'm like, whew. Ichigo is about to kill somebody if at all possible, but we know that it's too early in the series for him to, kill off the main villain, so that ain't gonna happen. But he is definitely gonna cause some damage, so they're going back and forth, in classic shonen fashion. From here, there, everywhere, the little light stream clashing back and forth. Um, but if I wonder if anyone actually notices that the clashes were in the same colors that they always are when he goes and trains with Zangetsu, and the different color schemes between his different Getsuga Tenchos. I wonder if anyone actually paid that attention. Like, Yuhan's was the Quincy white and blue, where his Soul Reaper / Hollow powers were the black and red. I wonder if anyone actually paid that attention, and I kind of just gave away that plot point. But again, I'm late to the party, so at this point, anybody who watches this video should already be aware of what's going on. So it's not really much of a spoiler at this point. In any sense, the thing is that, of course, Yuhan, like I said, it's too early in the series in the series for him to overpower him. So Yuha Baha just like bodies him back to the ground and then stabs him in the neck, thinking that he like incapacitates him. But little does he know he messed up. And guess what? That's when you done. So so yeah, Yuha Baha, at the time of stabbing Ichigo in the throat, he realizes that his blue vein, which I was kind of wondering how they was going to actually pronounce that, because I don't speak German or anything like that, but I was wondering. But yes, they chose to pronounce it Blutvene. Excuse me. But yeah, they when his Blutvene activates and keeps him from decapitating Ichigo, he then realizes that he messed up because he now realizes that putting Kinuge Upi in charge of holding him back, he released his Quincy blood, which is, they were saying, hey, all that struggling and fighting the bars and all that, as you were doing that, you were releasing your own Ryatsu, and you were destroying, piece by piece, Kilge's Ryatsu as well, when they were reforming and they were coming together and then coming back into you. It was awakening your power within your Ryatsu. And then he makes a really bold statement, which I wonder, because he says, maybe I should have used a hollow or a Rancor to trap you, as opposed to a Quincy, because your interaction with him has awakened your Ryatsu, your Quincy Ryatsu. And I wanted to do that on my own time. Later on, wanted to walk you through and take your time and re-educate you about your heritage and all that, because it sounds like you don't know. But there's a flaw in his logic, because even in a Rancor or Hollow wouldn't have helped, because if we're not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, the whole Vasta Lordi power in him, he already has a hollow in him as well. So that wouldn't have helped either. If being in Kilgay OP's jail and the struggle that he put forth in the jail reawoke his Quincy powers, then putting him against an Arankar, which he's already destroyed them, obviously, he also, again, already has the power in him. And a Rancor wouldn't be able to fare any better. Like that there's flaw in your logic, buddy. It's almost like you didn't watch the whole Rancor. But so yeah, that again, flaw in your logic there. But then he strikes him again just to test, and yeah, then we see the Blutvene in arm, and he's like, okay, yeah, that's the proof I need. That's all the proof I needed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we messed up. I was already considering you a special threat, but now the reason why I consider you a special, well, part of the reason why I consider you a special threat has already come to fruition a lot earlier than I expected it to. So yeah, we kind of messed up. But it is what it is, it is. We just kind of have to work with that. This time I'm going to go ahead and pin you down. I'm going to run you through, and this time Blue Vein's not going to, Vene, my bad, it's not going to be able to help you out. So, if he had been any slower in his decision, the whole entire series probably would have been a lot different. But thankfully, here's where we bring back Aizen. Because while he was visiting Aizen used his Kui, if I can say the word now, Kyuiko Suigetsu to throw off his sense of time, and kept him in there a little bit longer than he thought he was there. He ran out of time in the Soul Society, and the shadow came for him and that's just weird. Just rips off of his arm, and then it's like he's got to go. Peace. Well, I'll let you. Make sure you take care of yourself. Heal up real nice and well, Ichigo, because I'm coming back for you, and I want you to be in tip top shape. Um, Sorry we had to meet like this or reintroduce ourselves like this. But I will holler at you on the next go round. So essentially, he just is about to leave, and Ichigo still ready to fight. He charges at him one last time, and Ashwago gives him the swipe and cuts his Bankai in two. And that's essentially where we leave off. But man, I told you there was a lot to talk about in this, and I know this is a super long video, and I hope y'all can understand. But there was a lot to digest in this. In these two episodes, we talked about a lot, and I kind of actually broke it down um, a lot more thoroughly than I did in the last video. But hey, if you made it this far, I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you and how much I look forward to keeping the party going. And but from now on, of course, we're going, especially once we catch back up to the series and the series actually comes back on a weekly basis. We're going to do this weekly. Therefore, we can make the conversation more fit the episodes and such. But again, if you have made it this far, man, I so much appreciate you so much. Even if you have to come back and watch this in parts, you watch like 10 minutes at a time or whatever, I would greatly appreciate that, man. But I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate anybody and everybody who has stuck by me thus far. We have some new subs as of late, and I appreciate that. We're growing slowly but surely, but hopefully one day we will hit that 1K and onward. But until then, again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get the content as soon as I drop it, and comment, share, keep the conversation going. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Peace.